Mayday, mayday, mayday. Mayday, mayday, mayday. All free citizens. Mayday, mayday, mayday. All that can hear. America has been overthrown. Repeat, America has been overthrown. Communist occupation. Repeat, heavy communist occupation. Location 15 degrees, 2415 north, 30 degrees east, 103. Repeat, 15 degrees, 2415 north, 30 degrees east, 10, 3. We're surrounded. We're surrounded. All comms are unsecure. Repeat, all comms are unsecure. The media has been taken over. Repeat, emergency. Mayday, mayday. All media has been taken over. Request information. Repeat, request information. Find Covert Radio. Repeat, Charlie, Oscar, Victor, Echo, Romeo, Tango. Repeat, Covert Radio. Mayday, mayday, mayday.
How you guys doing? This is Covert Radio. And this is brutally honest, fearlessly unapologetic talk radio. Oh, we got a good one for you. Yeah. Did we witness a satanic ritual? We talking about Covert Radio. We talk satanic ritual. Owen is righteous. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, guys. You know, this is not satire. This is not, some tongue-in-cheek. This is probably, I would have to say this may be the most startling broadcast about the entity Owenus Larpington the Eighth. This really may be one of the most startling broadcasts to date, because I'm going to show you guys some things that I know nobody else is going to show you. Nobody else is going to show you. So pay attention, take what I give you, and do your own investigation, do your own research. And you tell me how wrong I have it. And I know we're over the target. We're over the target 100%, because let alone the fact that we've been blocked by Owen on Twitter. All of a sudden now there's just all these, positive, and see, it's just such if I could show you 6 years of what I've done and everybody I've dealt with, and the wave of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Actually, the hairs on my arms are standing up right now, because this is so sickening, similar to one of the most evil entities I've ever dealt with. And I'm starting to really think that Owen Benjamin is he's going to take the cake. And I really genuinely believe that this really at this point has no other option but to end in a way that is going to go down in history. And mark my words, I'm saying this on the record on September the 6th of 2023. And people will find this recording. They will find this video one day and be like, oh my God, if we only listened. But who do you tell? And see, this is why I'm doing this. The only people you can tell are you guys listening to me. But I'm telling you something, this is going to end very badly. Jonestown level. Let me ask you something. Okay, so what is Owen Benjamin going to do? I really genuinely want you to think about that. Take a minute. Take 2 minutes. What is he going to do once it genuinely all ends? Is he going to go get a job at Walmart? Is he going to what? Is he at 50, pushing 50 years old? Is he going to apply for what? A factory or a mine or a mill, or, you know, is there something that he has no trade, he has no education, he has no real skills. So, I mean, is he going to work? What's he going to do? I mean, well, he can use his size, I guess, to his advantage. I mean, he could do that.
Covert Radio, you got a copy there? Yeah, we're up here on the 6th floor, and we got you live. We're watching the security cameras, and, you know, there's always an opening for security. So, you know, maybe we could hire him here and bring him onto the security team. You know, dress him up and, you know, give him a little nightstick to walk around with. And, hey, you know, maybe that's an option. You know, so there you go, Mr. Benjamin. We'll send you an application to your email, and, you know, you got to pass a background check. So hopefully you do this soon before you are in prison. All right, later. Hey, bro, I got to take a shit. I'll talk to you later.
You know, I told you guys at the last meeting that we're not... I mean, is there some, does it need fumigated up there? I mean, is there something going on in the refrigerator, in the security? Is there like, I mean, why is it constant? I mean, do you have IBS? What is, you know, listen, I pay $1,000, $1,200 for each and every one of you a month for health insurance. So, why don't you go get checked out, bud? Okay. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, you could be a security guard, Owen. I mean, that's a potential possibility for you. You know what I mean? So, but I really, I'm going to show you some things you may have seen, but I'm going to show you what I see. And again, we're going to see where it goes. You think looking on the screen, can you guys see this graphic? Let me see here. Yeah. Big celebrity, tomatoes, 50 cents. The big celebrity in the Beartaria. And we're going to get into all of this. We're going to get into it all because, yeah, that's funny. No, I don't think a lot of you understand what happened, okay? And, you know, the Texas Goat Radio show was live streaming a few hours ago. And, you know, again, he's on top of it. He's playing clips and videos. I'm going to go over a couple of the ones that he played and give my perception of what we're looking at here. And, you know, I get swept away because it's like, oh my God. And I'm trying to type and, you know, it's late. It's like, but it's all getting lost. So I figured I just got to hit record. You know what I mean? So, because it's terrifying. It's actually terrifying what's happening. And like I said, what's happening now, this is phase 2. Phase 1 is, you know, we've launched. Okay. And we're up in the air and we're coming up to the target. Once we reach the target and there's confirmation and we may, we may get indication that we're now on their radar. Then we immediately go into phase 2. We've just started phase 2 right now. Phase 2 are smaller fighter jets that swarm around and, you know, they're trying to see, is this a barrage? Is this a bomber? What is the weaponry on this? Can we escort it? Is there any communication? How can we disarm this? Can we deflect it? Can we deflect the plane? Can we deflect the plane? And what they're trying to do now is flood Covert Radio with, oh, well, you know, I Covert Radio, you're dead on, bro. Bro, you're dead on. I definitely enjoy what you're saying. However, I have a different perspective. Owen Benjamin brought me to Christianity. If it was not for Owen Benjamin, I would not have known Christ. See, that's what I told you guys before. When you're dealing with a sociopath and you're somebody like Covert Radio, I promise you that he is listening to every single word I say. Right, Owen? Right? Are you walking or are you on your treadmill? Is this your cardio in the morning? Is this what you're listening to, Covert Radio? How are you liking the show so far, Owen? Because it's about to get real. Real. Because I'm going to show everybody what you've done. I'm going to decode it. Okay? I know what you've done. I know what you're doing. I know what you're going to do, and I know how this goes. So let me maybe propose this. What if this is a predestined program, Owen? What if that's all this is? What if you are on a predestined path and no matter what you do, you are going to meet the end fate that is already predestined for you? I don't think you can change your trajectory at all. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Catharsis being the most prevalent. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. I want to first do this because, I've told you guys, I like to bring everybody together. We're all different. Everybody that's involved in this, there are ex-bears that are working hard and, amazing amount of information. Liz Antoinette, I'm going to link her channel in the description, and this will be in a hierarchical structure. I'm also going to link a channel called Owen Benjamin Highlights. Both of these channels, unbelievable amount of information, content, and, it's really worth looking at, especially if you're a current bear or if you're somebody who is possibly drawn to this. Look around. Listen to people who have already been there. Listen to people who have already been fleeced, lied to, used, robbed, indoctrinated. Listen to their stories. This is a cult. This is real. So Liz Antoinette's channel is going to be listed first. If you look down in the description, which I highly suggest you read the description. I do take time. I explain everything that's in the video. A lot of times it is in order, you know what I mean? So it's like you can get a good feel of what's where. Read the description, and then down there will be links. There'll be Liz Antoinette's channel, Owen Benjamin Highlights channel. There'll be the Texas Go Radio, Milker Nation, let's see here, Digital Jonestown, and there'll be a few more. So go ahead and check that out. Also, too, I wanted to mention this, that if you want to become a patron of Covert Radio, that is also in the description. And I apologize to anybody that's on the Discord server right now. I've had it shut down for a couple days because when I'm recording there's a stream feature built into Discord, and it wants to automatically enable live streaming. So whenever I'm recording, which I've been in the last couple days, so whenever I'm recording, I have to shut it down. And then it's like, damn it, nobody's hitting me up on Discord. And then I forget to relaunch it. So, but I want to tell you guys this about Discord. With 2.0 coming up that everybody's talking about and redoing this, and we're going to redo that, and we're going to re-lock down this and that and all this and that. Okay. I know they're going to try. I mean, that's without a doubt. This has always been the plan. I mean, everything that we've gone through has been a test run for the real situation that's about to happen. I don't, and see here, this is going to jump around because I have a lot of stuff to get to, but I also want to reassure you guys of something. This isn't all I do. I mean, this is not all I do. This is on my heart right now. And I know it would appear that, you have channels dedicated to this. No, it's not. We have tons and tons, and I have so much content, I need a whole other person. But I am going to start breaking up a few of these into, my actual, content, you know what I mean? So there's going to be some things coming up that, I got to watch is all I'm saying. Definitely subscribe to Rumble, but on the Discord, on the Covert Radio Discord, which you can get through Patreon. There's a link under there, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I've just totally cleaned the whole server. Everything's been wiped off from the last, say, 5-6 years, and contacts and channels and voice channels and resource. I mean, so much stuff. Terabytes of stuff have been deleted. And I do that to protect people's identities, past information, because you never know who's coming into Discord. And, I do vet people. I have a way I do that. So, but on there, I'm going to start re-adding a lot of the information that, I had listed prior to me having to clean it. And I'm always updating it. So if you want any information, and see, guys, this stuff is, when I look into something, I mean, clearly, if you're new to the channel, clearly you should be able to tell by now, holy shit, this dude, man, like, wow. I'm telling you, when I look into something, I look into something, okay? It might be, I don't know, ADHD, ADD, Asperger's. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But when I want to learn about something, I learn about it. When I want to investigate something, I investigate it. So, if you're, I got to watch what I say here, but hypothetically, if you've had the effects of the vid dealing with a protein that may have been spiked, and you're having a long, vid sort of reaction, or, you feel constantly off, or, I got to kind of just talk around it, but there's going to be resource information on there. And I mean, this is stuff that has been vetted, researched. I have medical papers that I link to. Acetylcysteine is it's a crucial element. Bromelain is a crucial element. And I give a lot of suggestions about how to dissolve a protein that may have been spiked. And, there's tons of new science and medical records or medical information. These are doctors that are on this side of the fence. So, they definitely understand what happened. And these are the same ones that were silent. So, we have information about that. There's some, there's a section about cancer, and, the Brzezinski Clinic and the angioplastins that are made up of proteins and amino acids. So there's information there if you're dealing with cancer, if you know somebody that's dealing with cancer. So like I said, and I'm not going to waste a lot of time, a lot of this information you will only get on Discord, because when you talk about this type of stuff, and I can't, it's hard for me to, I don't know. I go off. I can't explain it any other way. So that is what's caused. I can't even count the amount of videos to be taken down. This is medical misinformation. So, you know, I've dealt with this. I've lost this channel, and I've just learned. It goes to a place like Discord. I'm going to get a BitChute account. We're going to open that up because I've listened to an interview with the CEO, and I really loved what he had to say about freedom of speech and BitChute, and so that, and always go to Rumble, because if I feel like it's not going to make this communist cut here on YouTube and Alphabet and Google, it'll go just straight to Rumble. That's enough of housekeeping. Okay, so let's talk about catharsis. Let's talk about a potential satanic ritual that we watched Ben Hameen do. I mean, you know, you might look at this screen. This is not an exaggeration. I'm going to show you a video, whether you've seen it or not by now, of the BearTardia Times Festival. And they had a mock, you know, it's a ceremony. It really genuinely, to me, and I'm going to explain to you why I see that and why I believe that. But it was a ceremony, and it goes all the way back to the Roman times. The English were a proponent and a user of pillories, and the pillory is something that, you know, is actually a symbol. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not getting into like anything metaphysical, or, you know, it's laced with theory and this and that, or it's no. I'm going to show you with your own eyes. You're going to see it, and I'm going to explain it as we go. So yeah, he's pilloried right here, you know, and I mean, this is this is just an image I made, but you know, this is Joe Rogan and Crowder, and you have a bunch of Hasidic Jews, some tribe members, you know, they're all just cracking up at what he's been reduced to. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, right, Owen? Oh, wow, how the mighty has fallen. You've literally reduced yourself to a form of humiliation that is almost unexplainable. But I'm going to explain what you did. Or, you know, there's you can't hide it from me, Owen. You can't. I've explained this. I got your phone call between you and Cod. That was the last video of Covert Radio. Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, let me ask you guys something. Would you prefer it just baffles me. I don't do a lot of satire. I've done 2 recently, but I mean, I don't do a lot. But let me ask you guys something. Would you prefer that I completely blatantly label videos like that as satire? Because it blows my mind how people actually, they're like, what are you talking about? This isn't, what phone call? This is not real. Like, really? Like, it blows my mind that you don't get satire. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I mean, I like to put it in there and just, I don't know. I enjoy it. I like stuff like this. I don't know. Whoopsie. Yeah, I don't know. I like stuff like that. So if you hate it, I'll just go by consensus in the chat there, and we'll take it from there. But let's see here. Yeah, we're going to be jumping around. A lot of stuff to get to. I want to show you guys this here. This was 2 hours ago, roughly. 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. He's already started right back up. And if you guys can't see that, let me blow that up here. Let's see here. Oops, wrong one. Yeah. We need 300 people to donate $400 to get this next plot in November. You know, I'll be the first to admit to you guys, I don't know where all this comes from. I don't know if there's some sort of a, He keeps saying that, oh, I talked about it. This was the plan, whatever. But it seems to me it's forever evolving. It's forever evolving. As he learns, oh my God, this is working. Oh my God, this is working. He's going to keep going. He's going to keep going. So, say I'm brand new. I know nothing. To get this next plot in November, what next plot? Where? What is the end goal here? I made a prediction the other day at the Texas Goat Radio show that was live. And again, because I know that we're over the target, because I know we're into phase 2 right now, because I know there's a lot of attention and ears that I would prefer not hear everything. I got to watch what I say during now and for the rest of this, because it's all going to be used. It's all going to be used by Owen or whoever's involved in his immediate crew as ways to circumvent. It's ways to circumvent being either further exposed, or they're going to have prepared explanations, which he's so good at. He's going to have prepared deflections. So, I could tell you what I said, my prediction, but it's just going to either give him more ideas, or he's going to learn, hey, wow, he really is on to me. Because I'll just tell you guys, in case you don't know, here's my prediction. This whole shit in the Ozarks, and he's already talking about the next plot. Okay, whatever that is. So you had whatever, we'll use his terms, Ursa, whatever, mine, I don't know what it is. Ursa, or Rio, I don't know, whatever. We had the original grift, which was several $100,000 by a bunch of people innocently who were going through one of the most traumatic times in modern human history, dealing with something that was completely unheard of, completely brand new. There was power excised by the government and military that nobody has ever witnessed, that's living right now in America. And you had a charlatan grifter take advantage of it. There was just an article that came out about they're still counting into the trillions now out of all the COVID relief funds, this, that, and all this fucking free money. I mean, billions and trillions of dollars that people found ways to rip off. And I look at this as no different than that. This predator took advantage of all the people who were at that time, listening and looking for answers, and maybe looking for some options, maybe looking for even just some time to forget about what's going on, crack up, hang out, do whatever. He could not help himself. So he took full advantage. $400. We're going to buy in. We're going to have a campground. Everybody's going to be able to use it. You'll be able to come anytime you want, this and that, da-da-da. We all know the story. He said he himself, if he admitted to $250,000 that he was able to rip off of everybody, if he admitted that, it's at least almost double that in my estimation. So I always say about $500,000. He admits $250,000, $250,000. I say it's closer to $500,000. That's what he admits. Tax-free, off of people dealing with some of the worst trauma they've ever dealt with, people unsure about their future, people losing their fucking jobs, and you have this predator taking advantage of them. Telling them that, no, guys, this is what's going to happen. When they come, we'll have a safe space, and, talking about a militia and overthrowing the government in that area. We're going to have shooting ranges. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Da, 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 da. It's the end. It's the end. It's the end. Just like Jim Jones did. Just like Jim Jones did. And there are people that once these switches flip in their minds and they become survivalist, they become militia-minded, they become survivalist, this mindset of a prepper and this and that, it's almost impossible to shut that switch off. I said years ago when Walmart started, I walked into Walmart one time in my area, and they had buckets stacked up right in front of the store. Get your 30-day survival pail. Get your, whatever it was, 60-day survival pail. I'm like, oh, fuck. Wow. And then it dawned on me, and I have a video on Covert Radio, the mess hall. I might link that too. I actually need to redo that because, I don't know, I remember being real tired and I should not have recorded that. And if I knew that video was going to go semi-viral, well, okay, semi-viral for me at least, 100 and some thousand views. If I knew that, believe me, I would have done it a little better. But yeah, there's a lot of non sequitur talk and whatever, similar to now. I mean, not much has changed, but if I knew that video was going to catch on, I'd have just made it a lot quicker to the point. But it dawned on me that point. And again, I'm a massive fan of history. I love, anywhere from the Roman times all the way through World War II. I love it. And I did a video comparing Operation Barbarossa to what's about to happen. And I'm saying it is definitely coming within the next, I'd say, year and a half. Because I don't know if you guys seen this, but the Alexa is you could ask, there's a guy that asked Alexa, this is like in the last couple days. He was like, Alexa, who's going to win the 2024 election? And Alexa's like, the 2024 election is not going to take place. The War Powers Act of 1972 will enable the current whatever power structure to remain in its current state of control due to a war with China and Russia. So Alexa in the last 72 hours has said there's going to be no and see, this is predictive programming. This is so everybody's like, did you hear it? There's not going to be an election. There's not going to be an election. There's not going to be. So once people really start breathing life into this, it becomes part of the construct and it becomes part of everybody's singular reality, which God will not be made a liar. The structure, the construct will not be made a liar. And it will actually reflect what everybody believes is actually true, which will be a suspension of the 2024 election. And what makes perfect sense about this, to me, is why wouldn't China mock an invasion? Why wouldn't they put troops on the ground? Why wouldn't there be a declaration of war? Why wouldn't there? Do you think the communists, after all the money and all the time and all the bribery that they've done to the Bidens, the Obamas, and this structure of government that we've had really for 12 years, 8 years with Obama, and now we're going to have 3 or 4 years with this fucking idiot? You think they're just going to let all that go? You see what Trump tried to do with the with the tariffs? They're not going to let this just go. They would absolutely start a war to suspend the election. I'm telling you, it's coming. I've had dreams about this. I am not a prophet, but I'm telling you, I've had dreams of $20 bills blowing in the street, Chinese troops marching down my road. And the $20 bills, I kept walking because I knew they were worth nothing. This is all shock and awe. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. This is all shock and awe. And the money's, it's not going to be worth, they have to do this. They have to, this is the Great Reset. But back to the prepping, I knew then, once I seen it at Walmart and I compared it, my mind just went crazy. I stood still for like 5 minutes and it's like I got a download. And I was like, oh my God, we're being trained to feed an invading army. We are being trained to feed an invading army. Because Operation Barbarossa, and I'm not getting into this, I can't even believe I've gotten this far off track already. Operation Barbarossa, long story short, there's no food stores, in 1940, 41, whatever, 42. You can't go to Walmart. There's no food line. There's no freezers. You have an ice box, maybe. The Nazis mocked a invasion towards Moscow, but it was my opinion, it was a deflection. It was a magic trick, because what they really needed to do is send troops down south. Actually, basically where the war skirmish is going on right now between Ukraine and Russia, whatever, right in that region, all the oil-rich fields. The Black Sea. The Nazis were running out of oil. It's as simple as that. So they mocked an invasion of Moscow, whatever, hundreds of thousands of troops to Moscow, but they actually sent the massive troops down south, but not enough to really cause enough attention, because they wanted to try to secure the oil fields because they needed it. During their invasion, their march north towards Moscow, there was, the Geneva Convention didn't exist. Everybody was a combatant, women, children, nothing. There is law of war. And I mean, you're really not supposed to pillage citizens, non-combatants. They did, though. The Nazis stormed every house, every pantry, because the Russians started cutting off supply lines. And it's like dead of winter almost at this time. So they'll starve to death. The horses were starving. The men were starving. They didn't have clothes. So each time they came to a village, a house, a hut, whatever they could get, they took it because they were dying, literally dying. The meth is worn off. And it just dawned on me. All this prepping shit, and you had all these shows that were real popular, Apocalypse and this, and it was showing you, this is how you do this is how you do that, and, I have a fish garden. In this one show on A&E or something or whatever, it was like, these people believe that total destruction of America is imminent, and we follow a group of, 5 preppers in this episode, and we rate them on their preparedness and their, however it was, and they'd get a score at the end. I mean, there's people who have their pools turned into fish ponds, and it was perfect. So the excrement of the fish, the slurry goes down into feeds their. I mean, there's people with intricate systems, and they normalized it. They popularized it. I mean, I could name off the top of my head 20 dudes I personally know that are preppers. You could call Owen Benjamin a prepper. You could call the Bears. Basically, I guarantee you a high 90 percentile are preppers. And what they're doing, though, is they're only going to feed the UN army when they come here. So every house, third house, is going to have, oh my God, look at this. They got totes filled with rice. There's one with beans. They'll never have to go resupply. And it's going to be so simply overthrown. This is what see, I can't get into this, man. Jade Helm. This is another video that was taken down abruptly off Covert Radio. I totally broke down Operation Jade Helm. I can't even believe I'm this far off. I don't know. Every time I hit record, I'm like, Lord, please bless this broadcast. Every time. Lord, please bless this broadcast and give me inspiration. I don't know why this is coming out of my mouth. Okay? I don't, but I'm just saying. It all holds hands. It really does. Because the types of guys that are attracted to Owen Benjamin are preppers. And the design by the controllers have said, well, we'll never have to worry about supply lines. We'll never have to worry about ammunition Because all of these people through America, we have houses here, house here, 3 houses there. There's a house. You're going to go a block before you find somebody that's not prepped? Find somebody that doesn't have cases and cases and cases of ammunition? No, they're in every city, every state, every county, all through America. These troops will take one of the bigger houses in that town, in that whatever. That'll be, everybody's taken out, burned in the street. Now that's their headquarters. That's where they're going to stage everything. They'll take over factories, mills. They'll take over Walmarts. Why do you think all the Walmarts have been shutting down for the last 10 years? We're not turning a profit. Get the fuck out of here. Staging, logistics, staging. Nobody has better logistics than Walmart. Nobody has better logistics than Walmart. They have literally designed, and Amazon too. But Walmart has literally designed the logistical transfer of communist-made goods into, through, and into your house. The shipping lanes, the cargo distribution, the trucking, the trucks, everything. So how is it unbelievable that instead of 10 cases of springware, you're going to have a tractor trailer filled with M16s? Because now this is where the UN is in this area. So they're going to use the same logistics, the same, prep or the same lanes they have already set up. Nobody's better at it than Walmart. Look at their fucking logo. You guys know this, right? Please, this is the last thing I'm going to say. You do know that Sam Walton was in charge of prison camps for the military. You guys know that, right? Sam Walton was in the military. His job was creating, I think it was POW camps. And I swear to God, the first time I ever seen a Walmart, I was like, oh my God, this looks like a fucking prison. This looks like a prison. There's no way. Look at the walls. Look at the height. Yeah. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't know. It all holds hands though. It all holds hands. There is zero. There's zero down in my mind what we watched, the clips that are starting to come out with Owen Benjamin this weekend, was a satanic ritual. And I'm going to explain that. It may not, maybe we won't say satanic, but I'll say this. I will say this. These types of rituals are used by Satanists. Is that better? Because see, this is what Owen will do. Hey, God, listen to this. Oh yeah, I'm a Satanist. Yeah, no. Okay, fine. Yeah, no. That's yeah. You're right. However, Satanists have used this type of ritual. So have the Romans. So have colleges, which is Roman. The fraternities. So, But I think what we're really dealing with personally with Benjamin is catharsis. Oh, back to this. I forgot this was on the screen. I have different monitors, so I looked over and I forgot this is what you guys are looking at. 300. We need 300 people to donate. Oh, this is how it started. Never mind. These plots, this land. Oh my God. Ooh, I get lost, man. Oh, I get lost.
Covert Radio, you got a copy there? Yeah, Fat Larry, I don't know how to tell you this, but, he threw up about 3 times up here. He's so confused that he started turning around in circles in his chair because he had no idea what you were saying. So, I know he's not the brightest crayon in the box, but, I don't know how to get you back on track here, buddy. But take a look at that on that left monitor, and we're going to go ahead and increase the air condition down there in the studio. That way you can sort of kind of snap out of it and open your eyes. You know, we've noticed too, your eyes are closed and you don't even know what you're doing anymore, I don't think. So go ahead and we're going to keep you on track here, buddy. You got to, that's a big 10-4. All right.
All righty, good. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Sorry, Larry. Sorry, Big Larry. Yeah, these plots of land with Owen, I had made a prediction that he is going to, in the Ozarks, he's, you know, where I live, see, where I live, okay? There's about 5 major construction companies. And what they do is they'll go and they'll buy a farm somewhere. And it'll take years in the planning. They got to, you know, get all the clearances, all the permits. They got to make sure that there's public utilities. If not, they got, okay, this and that, blah, 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 blah. And then they develop it. So there's like 5 that compete with each other. I can't give you the names, but we'll say Red Homes 1, Black Homes 2, Yellow Homes 3, and Green Homes 4. So red, green, yellow, they all have these massive construction companies. They're in property acquisition because of the Marcellus Shale all up and down the eastern seaboard. What they've been able to do is buy literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres of farms, because when the Marcellus Shale came through, and specifically a company called Chesapeake, they bought all the mineral rights, and they were literally for the gas that's trapped into the shale stone. They through fracking, they literally turned all these old family farms into millionaires, because they were paying anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 and up per acre so that they would sign over their mineral rights. And you know, there's some farms that are, you know, 1,800 acres. So you figure 25,000 per acre, you do the math. I mean, so, and then after they get this money, they just leave the area. They retire to Hawaii, wherever they go. I don't know. And they have no use for the farm anymore. So you have all these development construction companies come through. They buy the farm and then they, you know, get it surveyed. They plot it out. You know, here's your quarter acre, half acre, quarter acre, half acre, maybe 1 acre, maybe 1 acre. And they'll take, you know, $400 or $500 farm and turn that into, or a 400 or 500 acre farm and turn that into, you know, 1,000 parcels. Okay. Then, you know, each parcel they do the roads, they do everything. There's so many nice ones they've done with massive lakes and huge fountains in them. And, you know, then they'll give you the option. Once you buy the parcel, they'll say, well, here's your housing options. You can go with the colonial whatever, blah, 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 for $250,000. You can go with the standard state, which is, you know, more of a split entry ranch style for only $198,000. So you have about 5 housing choices. They show you the architecture. And yeah, you can customize on the inside and whatever. There's some wiggle room for customization. But each one of these parcels now, because they are the contractors, you know, each one of these parcels is worth anywhere between $150,000 and say $350,000 per 1,000 parcels in a 300-400 acre farm they just bought. That is my prediction. This is the big goal for Owen Benjamin, because, and I say that because there's plenty of bears around him who are, you know, they're whatever craftsman bear, and I build a wall bear, and I have a front loader bear, and, you know, so they all, I can imagine that they sit around and dream up, or Owen really is orchestrating it. Hey guys, what do you think about this? Let me bounce this off you there, excavator bear. Let me bounce this off you. How doable is this, huh? You think we could, you think we could do that? Meanwhile, excavator bear may get a little cut out of it, but, you know, this is the hustle. And see, what's maddening about this is that you can see on the screen that there are people who do not have the eyes to see or the ears to hear. There are people that are going to be blindsided again for another $250,000+ again, not including however much he's raised in between, the 10,000 this, the 5,000 that. We went over all that in a video, not including that money. He just put it out there. We need 300 people to donate. Why the fuck would anybody donate $400 to buy you and your family another plot of land? And see, he's upping the ante now. If you are into what we are doing and you can spare the cash, it's worth it. It's worth what? If you're into what the fuck are you doing? Like I said, I'm new. I'm just reading a post. If you're into what we're doing, whatever that is, and you can spare the cash, okay? Who the fuck can just spare $400 in this economy is how fucking elitist and delusional he is. It's worth it. Says who? It's worth it to who? You. We will continue to compile donations and raise rewards. We're going to raise rewards. So for $10,000, this is just off the top of my head. For $10,000, you get, I don't know, a couple tickets for a hot dog and fucking sauerkraut banquet. You get a rickety bench built on cut timber somewhere by guys other than an excavator operator, guys who were telling, I never built a thing. I never even touched a saw until I got. So you have those guys that's going to build you a bench for, I don't know, whatever reason. And then you get to spend an evening around a campfire with Owen Benjamin for $10,000 asshole dollars. $10,000. Yeah, so I guess that's what he's calling a reward. So we're going to raise rewards. How can it get any better than that? So let's do quick guerrilla math. 300 people, $400. 3 times 4 is 12. Wow. $120,000. $120,000 by November. So guess who's going to have a good Christmas? What, are you going to go to Hawaii, Owen? Is that you're going to take the family? Are you going to Europe? 120,000 tax-free dollars. So really, it's closer to 150,000 tax-free dollars in cash. He's done this once. He's doing it again. And each time it gets more vague, more insulated, and more ridiculously delusional. And, you know, somebody had said this. Let me take a look here. Yeah, somebody, I'm gonna show you this post here real quick. Perhaps I've missed something, but how has Owen not been sued? I can't understand how not one person who lost money via the Idaho land scam doesn't have the means to sue Owen. I'm not well versed in law, so please help me understand. Okay, it's a fair question. There's a lot of great answers here, but the consensus is this. You're going to hire a lawyer, which you would have to get a lawyer in Idaho. So, number one, you'd have to go to that area, that county at least, and you would have to, this is how I would do it at least. Put it that way. This is how I would do it. So you would have to first get an attorney from that area. Number one, how much does that cost? Free consultation. Okay, number two. What is it lost here? Can you prove it? How can you prove it? Is there proof? Number 2. Number 3. So on, so forth. What is the actual penalty here? If you're going to get your $400 back? So I looked up the Idaho statutes. This is Title 18, Crimes and Punishments, Chapter 14 for theft. This is Section 182407B. A person is guilty of grand theft when he commits a theft as defined in this chapter and when, 1, the value of the property taken exceeds $1,000. So, at best, you're looking at a misdemeanor because he's individually fucked people out of only $400 times several thousand. So each time it's under that $1,000 threshold. So it's only a misdemeanor. I'm not going to go through all this, but they really do. There's more of a penalty in Idaho for hurting somebody's animal than there is for robbing them. There's more of a penalty. Like, where's it at? Something like a 50. If there's livestock or something that like exceeds $50 or $150, then yeah, we're talking felony. You could spend like 10 years in prison. But you could still, you could rob people all day of $900, $500, $400. Nothing's going to come out of it. Now, that's just if you individually sue. Not to mention how many times he's displayed how he reacts to people who go down that road, who are combative with him or standoffish with him or ask them for their money back. And again, we're going to use the word humiliation. So again, this is going to make a lot of sense to you here in a moment. But yeah, so there's that aspect of it. And then there's people, what's $400? I mean, okay, you lesson learned, It's all calculated. It's like, I've said this before, it's like the perfect number. I think the only thing better is if he would have said 399. Now watch 399 show up somewhere next. Yeah. Hey, that's fine. Because I know how this ends, Owen. I know how this ends. Yeah. That's the only thing that could be a little better is say 399. So yeah. But that's individual. Now, if you want to talk a class action lawsuit, which is more than likely going to happen and would definitely be more realistic. Yeah, that's a whole different story. We're not going to get into that here, but yeah. So that would definitely be something to consider coming up because, again, he's trying to insulate himself from this through the LLCs and, again, it's all red flags for the IRS, for the SEC. They know, and especially once it's pointed out, this is in this state, this is in this state, this is in this state, this is in this state. You know what I mean? There's no assets, there's no operating cost. I again covered all this in a video. There was a study done. I don't know. This was years ago, at least 10 years ago, but it was dealing with, prisoners and recidivation. I can never say it. Recidivism. Yeah. Recidivism. Recidivism. Yeah. It's something that's a massive problem. And, I watched 60 Days In and there's one like before 60 Days In, I watch that with dinner sometimes, but there was a study done, they wanted to try to get inside the heads of some of these prisoners. And, not only there's, really no trades being learned in a lot of the prisons, there's no real help. All they do is throw Suboxone at people who are addicted to drugs. There's no counseling. It's, there's a lot wrong with the prison system. But that's what it is when one company owns it all, basically, American Prisons or whatever it is. But they did a study and they they went through a bunch of guys who were taken back. They were brought back. They reoffended within 3 years after they were released from jail. And 2 out of the 3 of them, actually, 2 out of the 3 of them wound up right back in the system again. And they're trying to figure out, like, mentally what is going on. You know, why is this causing repeated incarceration? And they started narrowing it down to different counties, different states, and stuff like that. But I mean, even worldwide, we have the most incarceration of any country in the world. But they're starting to find out that when an inmate expresses guilt or shame, it actually is going to have a almost polar opposite outcome. A lot of you might say, well, it's guilt, shame, it's all the same. No. They're starting to find out that guilt and shame have polar opposite reactions in these prisoners' minds. So they're finding out that when somebody feels guilty about what they've done, when they're riddled with guilt, they're more likely to stay out of jail. However, the people that are maybe a little bit ashamed of what they've done, they're the ones 2 out of 3 that come right back into the system. Isn't that fascinating? Because a lot of times you would think guilt and shame, yeah, that's pretty much, and it's not, though. And again, this relates back to somebody who can't feel guilt, who doesn't understand what guilt is, who has no guilt. Ruthless individual, a greedy, heartless, ruthless, disconnected, dangerous individual. When there's no guilt attached, watch out. When there's no shame attached, watch out. But when you do, you're able to feel guilt, you can change. You know, that's why I tell Texas Go Radio, there's no helping. There's no hope. There's no hope for sociopaths. There's no hope for people at his level. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPDs. There's no hope. There's no saving them. They only get worse. And again, by people like us, Covert Radio, Texas Goat, Milker Nation, Digital Jonestown, Liz Antoinette, Owen Benjamin highlights. I mean, all of us together. It's a training ground for people like him. It's almost like a cheat code. It's a cheat code. That's what they say. Okay, so yeah, now I actually gotta rethink about how I'm saying certain things because yeah, they're starting. Yeah, okay, so now I'm gonna say it like this. Watch him start using $3.99. Yeah. You know, I'm completely addicted to cults. Maybe that's why I'm so interested in Owen Benjamin and why my heart's so heavily geared to this. But there was an unpublished book. I think it was either a woman or a couple women who they were inside of the People's Temple, Jim Jones Church. They were inside for like 5 or 6 years, and they went through the stages because people always ask like, well, when did you realize? Like, how did you get out? When did you realize and how did you get out? And it's so scary how similar, again, like I said, this is not going to end well for the Bears and Owen Benjamin. It's not going to end well. Because a lot of this starts with a deep commitment. They're committed. Look at Coddington. I mean, I guarantee you he would not piss with his pants on fire unless King Larpington told him he could. It's a deep commitment. And that commitment is always reinforced. He does that by you demanding you lose your identity, and you're going to be christened into this cult. You're going to have a bear name. You're going to be BearIfied. And there's grown men who go around and call themselves Hairy Chest Bear. I'm Hairy Chest Bear. I'm Vaseline Stinker Bear. Hi, how are you? Could you imagine the conversations this past weekend at Cult Fest? Like, could you even imagine? Hi, how are you? I'm Rainbow Dildo Bear. Remember I said that one comment at one time? Hey, wait a minute. Let me guess who you are. Hold on, are you Bald Hair Bear? I knew it. You're Bald Hair Bear. I knew it, because you know why? Because you have a bald head. Yes. Hey, remember that time? Oh, it was July the 7th of 2022. Owen read your comment, remember? Yeah, because then I'm still trying. You know, Big Bear, I sit there and I think, what would he like me to say right now? What could I say that maybe Big Bear say, oh, hilarious. I try all the time. I can't, I'm not good at stuff with my brain. So I can't think of anything because then sometimes I'm like, you know, what could I say so maybe he might acknowledge my existence? Because you're lucky. I still remember the day. I remember the day he acknowledged. Yeah, he was like, oh, that's true, bald hair bear. So yeah, the deep commitment, you know, the loss of identity, re-identifying yourself. All the cults do that. And then here's the scary part. Jim Jones consistently, daily almost, every time the congregation came together. This is before they went to Guyana. He had a goal. His goal was building a community. His goal was building a community. It was going to be a utopia. It was going to be a safe space. They were going to grow their own food. They were going to farm. They were going to have their own animals. It was going to be fully self-sustenant. What don't you understand? And what followed was just gradual disillusionment for them. They just started seeing all through the cracks. And we all know how it ended. And that's what I'm doing. I'm showing you the seams and the cracks. But there's one thing that Jim Jones absolutely did when people tried to leave that church. He went insane. They were, by the end, people were fucking terrified of the retribution. From day one, he had all those people go through humiliation rituals. There was sex acts, there was beatings, there was like just, and I mean, again, you if you look from an elevated view, I mean, how could you not see the control? But when you're on the inside, you ask, how can these people be blind to it? And another thing they also said was the gutter language, always talking about sex, always talking about homosexuality. This always came up in Sunday sermons. And Jim Jones would purposely go on and on asking women about, you know, did they enjoy sex and this and that? And, you know, it was a different time in America then too. So everybody wasn't so desensitized to it. And another thing Jim Jones would do was constantly, like, basically coerce men into admitting that they were homosexuals, because that was part of their religious beliefs. Jim Jones taught and believed that all men are homosexual. here's the scary part. Okay, so if you're not terrified of the comparison yet, these same people were signing over their welfare checks, their SSI checks, inheritance, their pensions. And what he started doing is he had an idea in America. Again, this is before they fucking went to Guyana. Look into this if you there. Again, don't just listen to what I'm saying. Look into this if you don't believe me. Because what I'm about to tell you, oh my God, there's no way, Covert Radio. There's no way. There's just no. Look into this. Look into what I'm telling you right here. Jim Jones had a track home investment scheme. Jim Jones of Jonestown, the People's Temple, got people to give him money for an investment opportunity into tract homes that never came to fruition. And the woman who wrote this, I think it was either a woman or I don't know, but I remember reading she lost $100,000 is what she invested. And Jim Jones was like, oh yeah, it's total gravy. You're going to have the bear trail. You have your own house. I mean, that amount of money, I'll sit by the campfire for 2 days. I mean, he's already at fucking $10,000. After robbing people of $250,000 to $500,000, now he's asking again for another fucking almost $200,000. And what? For what are we doing, Owen? What's this? Oh, you're getting this next plot in November. If you're into what we're doing and you can spare the cash, it's worth it. We'll continue to compile donations and raise... Who's we, Owen? You. And ultimately what happened is when they ran from the church, before they went to Guyana, they had a very, very horrible feeling they couldn't shake. And they saw Jim Jones start it because this is when he was being investigated. This is when the FBI was on him and the CIA in America before he left. And a lot of his sermons were charged with like fear and this, and they're coming and this. We need a place where we can, I'm not afraid of the government. I'm not worried about, or I am afraid of the government. They were concerned that he was losing control. The first time he mentioned about going to Guyana is when they started making preparation to run. Because even Jim Jones himself stated one time, once I get him to Guyana, I'll be able to keep him in line. When we're in the jungle, there'll be no place for him to go. Right, Owen? There'll be no place for him to go. Everybody, let's look. How do we all laugh the same? Guys, what are you doing up there? Jesus. All right, get to work. Go walk around the studio. Go take the dogs for a walk. Like, do something. Oh, look at this. Yeah. Where are we at? I don't even know. Gosh, dang. Should I keep going? I didn't even get into this yet. You know what? Let's leave this sit right here. Let's leave this sit. I hate to do this to you guys. I feel like an hour's nice. You know what I mean? Because what we're about to get into, I really need you to pay close attention. I apologize for going so off track, but there's a lot of great information in this video. I'm actually just going to hit record. I'm going to stop this and then just go right back into it. I'm going to get some coffee. Yeah, there's a ton of good info here. I'm going to check the description, check the links, and I'll catch you guys in the next video because, yeah, we're going to get into some crazy stuff. What what else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, if you guys want to become a patron, go ahead and check that out. Again, we're going to start having a lot of information. I mean, you're just not, unless you can investigate it yourself. You can look for it. I mean, again, I've explained my own habitual mentality, I guess you could say. So, if I don't have it, I don't know, and you really need it and I'm interested in it, I'll get it for you. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's only going to be on Discord. Subscribe to Rumble. And this is Covert Radio. This is brutally honest, fearlessly unapologetic talk radio. You guys take care. Have a good day.